A Muslim family is considering a lawsuit against Citadel, which is a military academy, over the fact that their daughter will not be allowed to wear her headscarf while she's attending the school. Now, the student, who is unidentified, has decided that she will not go to the school if she's not allowed to wear the headscarf. However, administrators on campus are saying, we have a really strict uniform policy, and it applies to everyone, not just Muslim students. Uniformity is the cornerstone of this four-year leader development model. The standardization of cadets in apparel, overall appearance, actions, and privileges is essential to the learning goals and objectives of the college.
I'm just going to pause it for a second there to say that is exactly why I would never go to the Citadel and why I never joined the military. Like, okay, our goal is uniformity. None of you have any personality. I need you to all look and act exactly alike.
I mean,
who finds that interesting?
Well, historically, that's what, militaries have been all about.
No, I know. Yeah. The military needs that so they could feed you into the war machine, okay? And when Bob dies, well, Bob looked just like Steve, so, okay, we're all moving on. Now, that's way oversimplistic, and there's other reasons they need to do it. Mainly, they need to break your spirit so you follow orders. And you follow orders to go take that hill even if you got an 80% chance of dying, right? So that's why they do it. That's why I don't have much of an interest in it. But, hey, here's a Muslim woman who wants to serve her country and wants to be part of the process. Okay, interesting.
Yes. So they continue to say the Citadel will continue to provide for any cadet's spiritual needs when it can, such as providing special diets or time for prayer and driving cadets to their places of worship if they don't have a car. So, the administrators are saying, look, we do what we can to accommodate the religious beliefs of these individuals, but because of our strict uniform policy, we're just not letting her wear her headscarf. And if she decides she doesn't want to be with us as a result of us having that strict rule, well, that's on her. But now her family wants to sue, or they're considering suing.
So I'm curious what your take on this is.
I feel like I'm being insensitive, but I will say that she needs to get over the headscarf thing. Like, here's the reason why I'm saying that. If there were instances of them making exceptions for other religions, then I'd say, what the hell? That guy's wearing a yarmulke. Why can't she wear a headscarf, right? But that's not what's happening. They don't have exceptions for anyone when it comes to the uniforms.
I will definitely use the yarmulke rule here because I'm split on this. So let me tell you first why I'm split on what the yarmulke rule is, right? So on the one hand, religious liberty is a cornerstone of America. Now, I'm not religious, but I think it's super important for everybody to be able to exercise their religion in any way they want. On the other hand, uniform is uniform, right? And so on the triple hand, the U.S. military that has similar rules has already gotten past this.
I know, and
right?
That's the thing that makes me a little torn on this. But, I mean, the school is, I know, a military school, but it's still separate from the military.
Right, but the military lets you serve in a hijab, and there is already Muslim women serving in the U.S. military in a hijab, and they let you wear certain religious pieces of clothing, okay? So if the U.S. military is fine with it, maybe the Citadel can adjust. But on the fourth hand, the Citadel is not discriminating on her because she's Muslim. They have many other Muslim cadets. I don't know about many, but they have other Muslim cadets, and they've never had an issue. This is the first one that wanted to wear a hijab. So those are all your facts. So what's my yarmulke rule? Well, if they allow a yarmulke, then they got to allow hijab.
Of course.
Right?
Agreed.
If they don't allow a yarmulke, which I'm actually surprised by, then yeah, fair is fair, then you can't allow a hijab.
They're so strict with their uniform policy, I couldn't even believe this. So Citadel cadets are required to wear uniforms nearly all the time. The school has a 35-page booklet of rules and regulations addressing military courtesies and uniforms.
Another reason why I wouldn't want to go. Oh, courtesies are such a pain in the ass, let alone a 35-page book filled with them.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what you have to do to this person, and I have to address that person. Oh,
I can't stand dress codes. I can't stand anyone telling me what to do. So I feel you, right? I have no interest in this. I have no interest in the military. But with that said, when you join the military or when you go to certain schools, there are certain rules that you have to abide by. Now, I'm curious to see how this plays out if she decides to sue, right? Because I do not think that this is a case of discrimination at all. Okay, based on the facts that I know, it doesn't seem like discrimination. but she could challenge her constitutional rights to practice her religion. I don't know how that would impact the school. I don't know how that works, but I want to see how it plays out.
Yeah, so my ruling, if I'm the judge, is just based on whether they apply this actually uniformly. So if they have the same rule for Rastafarians, and they make them cut their hair or whatever to make them look like everybody else, and with Jewish Americans who are going and who have the yarmulke, and they make them take it off, etc. It's uniform. It's uniform. Okay, the fair is fair. Then it should apply to her just like it applies to everybody else. On the other hand, I would urge the Citadel to get past it. If the U.S. military is fine with people wearing yarmulkes and hijabs, then the Citadel should adjust to the same rules and standards because you're supposed to be training them for the military. So good enough for the military, good enough for the Citadel, if you ask me.